legislation enabling non-financial sanctions against non-complying beneficiaries has passed its first reading in Parliament. Now, it also halves the time before job seekers must reapply to 6 months and doubles how long failures to meet obligations count against them to 2 years. Now, these changes are all part of the government's new traffic light system for beneficiaries. They say it aims to get them off a benefit and into work. The Minister, Louise Upston, says the changes will keep beneficiaries on track with their requirements. The opposition said it will just punish beneficiaries and will not work. So this is just some of what the government wants to be in effect by next July, and including community work experience, but also money management, which means half of someone's benefit is put onto an MSD payment card that can only be used in approved shops to buy essential items such as food, transport, healthcare-related items and education-related items. And this will be for a 4-week period. ACT has welcomed this first reading of the bill and said it delivered on its coalition commitments to implement sanctions. And their social development and employment spokesperson is Dr. Parmjeet Parmar. It's good to have you back on the show. Parmjeet, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Leah.
Now, Parmjeet, the electronic money management system is an ACT initiative. Can you tell us how it's going to work or how it would work and why it's necessary?
Yeah, so ACT campaigned on money management. Overall, we campaigned on sanctions, and we believe that sanctions are important to signal that, welfare dependency is a really serious issue. And also, I want to make it very clear that if somebody goes on benefit just because they've lost a job, there is a gap, that is totally fine because that is what the benefit system is meant for. But the problem is when people stay on benefit for very, very long time, and evidence is quite clear that that happens. And that's why ACT Party campaigned on sanctions. And money management is one of the policies that we campaigned on. So what will happen is that half of the benefit will be put on MSD payment card, which can be used for only essentials. So that will ensure that the family is not suffering because sometimes because of some other habits, the children in the family and other family members suffer. And we don't want to see that those kind of habits are becoming the reason for welfare dependency.
Parmjeet, will this be for, I know there's various types of benefits, so who will be getting these cards? Is it unemployment benefit? Is it, I'm not sure who gets them.
So the main goal of the Social Security Amendment Bill that we had the first reading for is to see that people, those who are able to work, they are in work. And because people, when they are seeking job, it's their job to go out and really seek job, to prepare themselves to look for a job and then find a job. And what we have seen is that some people, those who are on job seeker support benefit, they are not doing that. And the data, if you just look at the September quarter numbers, at the end of September, there were around 331,000 people in the system. And out of that, 98% people had green light. That means they were fulfilling their obligations of, looking for job, coming to seminars and doing everything that MST requires them to do. But
so 2% worked.
1.8% exactly, 1.7 something, around 1.8%. They were not. So that number is 5,922. And out of these, 98% of these people were work-ready job seekers. So we are talking about 5,800 people. So we are talking about actually thousands of people, those who would be in work, but they are not fulfilling even the obligations put on them by MSP.
So
that's
to make it clear, Parmjeet, clear, is it the 1.8% that will get these cards, or is it everyone gets a card?
So this is the first time failure of an obligation will get money management put on them.
Okay, so first time you fail.
Yes, first time somebody fails.
And that could mean what? That means not making a meeting or not making efforts to try and do something, get a job, and so MSD will say you've failed that, and you'll go on. You'll get an MSD. You'll get an electronic money management card. Correct?
So what happens is that people will have their case managers, and the case managers will lay out what the expectations are, and there
Right.
will be some action points. So they will
Yep.
have to work towards delivering those action points that are decided for them to get back into employment. And then if they don't do that, then there will be
Okay, then
sanctions.
they get the card. Do you know, Parmjeet, say, because I know they can only be spent at certain places, I gather supermarkets and there's some medical and stuff. Could there be an issue that wherever the person lives, they can't get to these select shops? Is it going to be difficult for them to actually, use this card?
I haven't heard that yet, but the bill is going to select committee, and it
Okay.
will be good to understand. And I'm sure that MSD will keep that in mind where these cards can be used, because the main purpose is that only approved shops for essential items will be able to basically have customers come with MSD payment card.
Yes.
And I think it's really important because, cost of living is something that has been quite high, which we inherited from the previous Labour government. And a lot of households are under a lot of pressure. And we really want to see that the money that is going in these households is actually used for essential items.
So, what's your response, Parmjeet, to critics that argue that these changes are punitive and just punishing those that are already struggling?
I think what these different arguments coming from other parties like Labour, Greens, and Maori Party as well are that they are just completely ignoring that welfare dependency is an issue. And the data clearly shows that people, those who go on benefit, sometimes they can remain on benefit for very, very long time. And people under the age of 25 on job seeker support can spend an average of about 18 more years on a benefit. And this has increased by 49% under the previous Labour government.